shit, we on it.
Yeah, we on.
Uh, I don't know. I just feel like it's been long overdue. You know.
People know we rock, but they don't know exactly how we rock. They don't know how we got to this point. So I guess,
I think it's more important to. I mean, that kind of starts with your story. So I mean, people know you as Carbon 15. You know the guy from Jeezy days, but do they know what led up to? You know, I guess the origins before all of that, man.
oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know.
Well, that started in the hood. That started in
Mhm.
Bloomfield, man. The
Mhm.
mud hole.
Mhm.
It started in mud hole where the mud hole. My partner, one of our neighborhood partners we grew up with, he didn't rap himself, but he saw the vision. He saw the vision.
That
And
nigga rap.
he rapped for a minute.
That nigga
I
rap.
forgot about that. That
Yeah.
joker did rap. I
That
forgot
nigga
about
did
that.
rap, man.
Damn, that
He
nigga
wanted to
rap.
do it. I still think he want to do it.
That joker don't want to be no rapper no more. You bring up the music around him now, he don't want to hear nothing about no
Shit.
music, man.
Yeah.
That joker,
I
man, I
dig.
don't want that. But
Yeah.
but yeah though, that's where my origins of music started it. In the mud hole, listening to GHPP, Gangsters Hustle Pimps and Players, Lock Dog, Lil Paul,
Insane.
Insane. And then when they meshed and they came started linking up with our people, linking with you, Wolf, 6'4", Shay, Gain It, yeah, that's everybody and everybody, and we start coming together. That's when I'm like, dang, we really doing this music. Then I went off to college. When I went off to college, I fell in love with the whole Cash Money, No Limit, Boosie. It just opened me up to a different type of music, and I just felt like, dang, this music shit was serious for me.
So I mean, so was there ever a point with you that you wanted to do music, or it was just like a passion that you just had for putting it together?
Yeah. When I at the point when I first I just had a passion. I just loved music. My pops, my mom's always played music. But what made me want to actually be in the music business was when we got to the mud hole and they were actually about to put out a project. And they wanted to put a project out, and they were like, and at the time we were going to Blue Flame a lot, going to Blue Flame a lot, and we had a relationship with DJ Hershey. And
I'm gonna pause you right there. I'm talking about you though. You like as a child, you know, like we always had these aspirations. We wanna be like your favorite football player, whoever. You know, when you're a child, like was that this has always been like in you to do or want
yeah,
that?
I used to read. Yeah, if that's what you're saying, yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
can remember my first CD I ever bought was Brand Nubian.
Mm.
My first CD I ever bought with my own money was Brand Nubian,
Mm.
and I used to read the back of the CDs.
Mm-hmm.
I used to read the notes, the thank yous, who the artists themselves would thank,
I did the
and
same
I would
thing.
read the executives' names to know who this was and who that was and what they did and whatnot. So I think I always was curious about the music industry.
The industry side of it, not the artistry.
No, I never wanted to be an actual rapper.
Artist. Gotcha.
No,
I
no,
got
no,
you.
no.
I got
But
you.
I think it was around 1994, 1993 or 94, a white guy. His name Chucky Allen, man. He turned me on to 8 Ball and MJG.
Change your life.
It just took me from somewhere. I remember I had a tape player, and I bought the tape, the cassette tape, coming out hard. You could stop it, rewind it, stop it, rewind it. That's how I learned every single word to it. I would let it play, stop it, say it, rewind it, and until I just learned the shit word for word. That's just because I wanted to know the words.
Yeah.
And I wanted to rap it like I knew it, but I didn't never want to be a rapper. You know what I mean? I think I could be a rapper, but I ain't know.
Okay.
I'm more infatuated with the business and knowing
As we all should
how to
be.
pull the strings and press the
Yeah.
right buttons. Yep. But yeah, though that come in '94. Like I always loved music, but '94 That's when I started getting deeper and deeper and just wanting to know who did this. Like okay, it's crazy for me because I knew a lot of guys. I knew their names, and then when I started coming around and we were working on a project, Boys in the Hood, I would see a lot of people from names that I would read in the
Read the
back of
credits.
CDs. I actually got to see them, like
Mm-hmm.
Harv Pierre, people that work with Diddy, and you read their names in CDs and then you actually see them. So that kept feeding
That's the
my passion
motivation.
more
I got
for
you.
it.
I
Yep,
got you. I got
yep,
you.
yep.
So it's interesting, man, that like from being a young child, you always want to kind of be like in the executive role.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most people, even most executives at the core, they, interested to the music industry. They had some type of either they played music or they were an artist at some point. But for you, it's just always kind of been the business side.
Yeah, I always been the business side
Man,
of it,
that's fly. That's fly as
trying to
fuck, man.
figure out where I could fit in and help. Cause like I said, my partner, BR, like I always wanted to just help him. He didn't know everything, but he was willing to put all his in to get it
Mm-hmm.
there. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just trying to help him, and that's how we come full circle. And we started the Gangster Grills, and we got to DJ Drama because I was going out just trying to meet people.
Shout out to Drama, man.
Yeah,
I think that needs to be. I don't know. Was that pre?
that was pre-Jeezy. Yeah,
No,
that
I'm
was
saying
about
like
that.
that was like was that pre like live mixtapes and all of that?
Yeah, that was I can't remember because I never was a live mixtape
I
or
mean, I'm just saying like
none.
you at first before the streaming services you had the
Where did they get the music from then? That was live
yeah
mixtapes or what was that thing?
that pill
Napster and
Napster.
Dat Piff and
Yeah,
yeah, that's what all of this. I can't. No, we
we
were
was ahead
selling
of our
CDs,
time.
man. We
We
were
was ahead of
selling
our
CDs.
time. Yeah.
We were giving out CDs. We didn't touch the internet phase until I got into the music industry being with the
Gotcha.
label. You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
In the mud hole, bro, we hand to hand out the
We was
trunk
handing
with
out
that
every.
shit. So
That's kind of
that's why I can't really put my finger on. Only thing I can remember back then were magazines. I used to try to get us in the Ozone
yeah, man.
magazine
I
and
wish Drama would have put a little more burn on that one, man. Just keeping it a book.
he didn't really know us. He didn't
Yeah.
really know us, and he did it based off of relationships. And I think at that point, for us to be able to get a Gangster Grills in the early
That
stages of
said
his
something.
brand, it still means something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that was I was doing Gangster Grills before I actually did my biggest Gangster Grill. You know what I mean? Well, was a part of one of my biggest
I ain't
Gangster
saying that
Grills.
in a negative way. I'm
No, no,
just
no. I
saying
know,
like
I
I
know you
wish
weren't. I
that
know
it
you
would have
weren't.
had that a little
But
more.
it definitely came before. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
did
So
a
we was
lot
on
of
the
shit
cusp. We
before
was on
that.
the cusp of that explosion of the mixtape scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, In the Streets Part 4 or 5 was out when we did ours, and those were the early days.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the very early days of Gangster Grills, man. The
Mm-hmm.
very early days, man. So
I got you.
I was a
Okay.
big fan of those too, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out to Drama, man.
Always shout out to Drama Generation Now, Late Show. My boys, my peers. I like to call them my peers, my rich peers.
So why you think that people don't give you your proper credit as the connector or the glue in this shit? Because I
Um,
feel like they don't.
yeah, yeah. In some instances I understand why you say that because a lot of people don't know that I put a lot of a lot of things together that count.
That's why I be on you, man.
Yeah, you definitely. Billie Slum is always on me telling me, man, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, man.
You the LA Reid of our time. I'm like, bro, you really think that? He constantly tells me that. And I just have to go back and think about like, dang.
Because it ain't no reason why you can't be. Not to put. I mean, you can't be one of these top executives out here like current day. Why? It ain't no reason.
Yeah. Nah. It's just about timing, man. And then the person that I used to work with, on a day-to-day basis, where you start from and how they present you to people is that has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? And when everything I got from this game, I went out and I made my relationships and I kept them and I nurtured them and I brought them to this point is why
Yeah.
I can still move around, and even though I haven't been attached to a studio album since 2012, but I'm still attached to the music industry.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And it's
So
like that because I kept these relationships intact.
I'm gonna just shoot straight. Do
Okay.
you feel like you've been blackballed or a shadow's cast upon you because of what somebody else may have said, or
Nah, I don't think I'll be in blackball. This
okay,
day and age, you can't be blackball because there aren't any gatekeepers anymore. The gates have been kicked down. The
okay,
internet helped
okay.
do that. It's just that some people they chase clout, and I don't. I wear a little jury, but I don't do the flexing and all of the big time.
Hmm.
Putting it in their faces. And back when I was in, or what they say when we had the ball, I was a behind the scenes person, I'm still behind the scenes. So people
Hmm.
don't know the strings I pulled or buttons I
So
pressed.
okay, that lead me to the next thing. Talk about when y'all had the ball. I mean, of course, I felt like I was a part of that, but kind of, I always kind of stayed in my own little shell. But
hmm hmm
talk about when y'all had the ball, man.
When we had the ball, it
In your
just
in your position in that.
in my position when I feel like CTE was, moving, in the direction to be a dynasty.
Hmm.
It didn't make it to dynasty levels because, you know, the leader didn't see it like that. You know what I mean? The leader just seen it as, okay, I'm moving up the ladder, I'm moving. If y'all with me, y'all with me. But this really for me. So it never was a vision for us for everybody in the clique to come up and so we'll all be
What
rugged.
never
You know
was
what
a
I mean?
true team effort. Is what you're saying?
Nah, I just don't
Gotcha.
think it never was a true team effort. It was always let's do it for this. And then once we get here, oh, I got it, what I got, y'all got, but it never translated like that, business wise or loyalty wise.
Yeah. And I don't. It's a little murky topic for me because I really don't talk about it. But do you do you feel like because at the core of most issues or internal turmoil, it all boils down to ego. So do
Mm-hmm.
you think ego got in the way on either side, or
Not my end, and I swallowed my pride a long time ago. It's just I refuse to bend on certain morals and my dignity. It won't waver. You know what I mean? And so after so long, when you realize that it's a lopsided situation, you
Mhm.
just make the best decision for yourself, and you just move on.
But could you
Accordingly.
have ever seen that going that way just based on how y'all started out?
Nah, I never did. I never thought that
So
I
it
would
would
be on
never
the
know
other.
like indicators or no red flags. Now that you think back,
Now that I think back, yeah, because hindsight is 2020. It's certain things that I feel like I wish I would have just did more for myself during
mm,
those times. Like I never had social media. I never I never was taking a lot of pictures. I never did anything. And I've witnessed some great things. You know what I
and
mean?
that's part of goes back to like how we was raised, man. You be kind of out of sight, out of mind, just from how niggas
Yeah.
moving around and
You
shit.
play your role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't step in the other lane. And my role was to be a supporting, to help get us to the next level. That was always my role, just trying to help Coach K or trying to help him get to the point. Because at that time, that's what I told him. I'm like, man, I realize I'm not into this music stuff. I just want to figure out the business end. So I'm just gonna help Coach and whatever Coach do. I kind of told him where I wanted to go, and then he's like, nah, you A&R. You know the music. That's what Jesus used to tell me. You know the music. If you go back and look at Trap or Die,
Mm-hmm.
and you go look, that's why I chose here to start the beginning of this doc,
Mm-hmm.
because this is the Blue Room Studios, but back then it was Dirty South
Dirty South.
Studios. And my start in the music industry came from Dirty South Studios and Patchwork Studios.
Mm.
So you go look at fucking
Trap or Die.
Trap or Die documentary. We're in the 995 room, the B room at Patchwork, and I'm standing up on the table, and he's rapping shit to me, asking me my opinion. I didn't even know I was an A&R. He didn't tell. I didn't realize that until after when we started working on the actual 10101 album. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, you're an A&R, right? I was like, what? Like, yeah. When you telling me about this and how you feel about this and telling me to take certain stuff out, you be an A&R, man. So
Mm-hmm.
stick with me. You're gonna be Carbon 15 and we're gonna build.
So
That's
it was
how this shit
born there.
started. That's where it was born at.
Mm-hmm.
Right down the road from here, man. The Patchwork
And then you
Studio.
took off. I saw you take off from now.
Then I took it and I
Yeah.
really researched it. See, I used to always see A&R. Remember, it goes back to me in the back of the
Reading
CDs.
credits.
I never knew what an A&R was until he told me that. And then after he told me that, I went and researched the artist and repertoire, and I learned it, and I just ate it up. I just ate it up. From that point on, Metro Boomin, Mike
Right.
Will, Sunny Digital, fucking Future, Two Chains, Rich Homie Quan, Mark the Beat Monster, Lil Lodi, um,
Run
so
off a
many
lot of
damn
things.
producers. It's
You
so many
brought the
producers and people that
that you brought.
I personally said, look, boom, do this. Yeah,
People need to know that, man.
yeah. And I always wanted to play that role where I could be the guy that come up. And, I just played my role, and you're going to eventually see my name in the back of that CD, but it didn't pan out that way. I had to fight for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And still never was compensated. But I'll take the credit over the compensation in
Yeah.
certain instances. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Build your own
because I know what I'm
thing.
going to do with it.
Yeah.
God bless me to be a people person. So you
Mm-hmm.
put me anywhere, I'm going to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be something come with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, to go back to the very first question you asked is we didn't have good leadership. And I didn't know everything that I needed to know when we had the ball. You know what I mean?
So again, I try to be.
Because let me go back, because I even that's how you got in. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, listen, I know my kid from my partner from my neighborhood, he can rap his ass off. He can rap, he can sing, he can do everything.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in. So I bring you to the table. We end up putting you in a group, True Breed, Luke Ruger, Diesel the Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was there and it was talent. We got a project and everything, but it just the leadership wasn't there
So
to
that's what I was
to
gonna
take
ask,
us to the
right?
next level.
So do you feel, because a lot of artists, who gain steam, they'll have a label and they start their label thing, and it generally don't work out. You see the boy Gotti put his people in position. Ross put his people in position. Do you think it was just and this is me speaking from just on outside looking in, do you think that was a genuine movement to begin with, or was it just like to build up the
It,
the the presence?
I know both of those guys. I know Gotti personally,
Mm.
and I know of Ross, and we've been around each other, but I seen them both get to where they at now. I
Mm-hmm.
watched them.
Yeah.
And Gotti, he gets it. You know what I mean? From the gate, he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
He gets it. You know what I mean? He
Mm-hmm.
understands the business of it from top to bottom. He he understands that he won't be Yo Gotti forever, so he has to put people in place so he can get up the ladder. But now, when I first met him 10, 12 years ago, it was Gotti, 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 Gotti. You know what I mean? Cocaine music, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I seen him get all the way to 9. So he was at the artist point and he stood on that shit. You feel what I'm saying? But now that he's an executive, he started in my mind, we all know Snooty Wild and Zed Zilla, but in my mind, it really came from, rest in peace, Snooty Wild, it really came from Black Youngster. When he started with Black Youngster and he started letting people know I'm really doing this, he gave him the money on the internet, that type of stuff, it triggered a domino effect for him.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's gone now. Like, Yo Gotti the top hustler. And when it comes to Ross, he was an artist. Rick Ross came from, when we were shooting Boys in the Hood, them boys, Rick Ross I don't even know if he was Rick Ross yet. He was out there chilling. Me and him, I'll never forget it. He was out there chilling, white t-shirt, had on the same number nine Jordans. Me and him had on the same shoes that day. I'm like, damn, home, goddamn, just running around, he kicking it. He was talking the block, fucking around with Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
And from that point, maybe the next maybe the next summer or the next 2 summers after that, he had hustling out and he was off to the races. But I seen him, he was a humble dude backstage. I mean, behind the scenes, just kicking it, watching Jeezy, watching these other people until his time came along. And so now he's seen it as an artist. So now once he gets on, he know he's not gonna be in that spot for long. And then boom, here come MMG. He able to see Meek, he able to see Wale, he able to see Lil Rocky Fresh, a few niggas get over the hump. And
So
now he just living that shit out. But it still took for him to be an artist and somebody like Puff Daddy to put his arm around him and say, come on, Ross, come on, take this Ciroc bottle. come on, do this and that, because the Ciroc boys and all of that shit helped propel him to the next level as well. So yeah.
But even like putting, like you say, putting your arm around somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
That ain't necessarily putting no money in nobody's hand. It's like giving them an opportunity, and what they
Mm-hmm.
do with it is on them
Mm-hmm.
from there. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess I be trying to be careful with my word because I was a part of the situation, and I don't never want to come across like I'm the bitter dude. But I just be trying to think of it like from the other artist standpoint, just the artist standpoint in general. Why I guess I don't know why you feel like we didn't take it to that next level. That's what I'm.
Leadership, the top. It was all about one thing. It was
Mhm,
all about one person. You know what I mean? We're not gonna beat a dead horse. Home just wasn't. He never wanted to be that kind of leader. That's just what
mhm.
it boils down to,
Okay.
because he had everything. Even before you, he had Slick Puller. He had Blood Raw. There was opportunities for him to take those guys and put his arm around them, like
Mhm.
Jay-Z put his arm around him and said, "Hey, Jeezy, Beyonce's here with me, but you sit front row with me at the VMAs, MTV Awards. Hey, Jeezy, you come go on tour with me, and I'm gonna take you out,
Mhm.
and you open up and you do this, that, and the third." Like, without those type of people doing that for him, so
Mhm.
that's why I don't understand why he couldn't realize, okay, let me
Mhm.
take my boys up through there like that.
You see that to me, it gave them like a second win. Like it gave when Ross
Mm-hmm.
pushed MMG, it gave him a second. That put him in a different type of light.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with God. They put him in a different type of light. So
Mm-hmm.
people looking at him still. So
Still,
even if you, I guess I be trying to process it, but
yeah.
we ain't got to be the dead horse. Um, so people got an idea of all the stuff that you brought to the table for the TM 101 album. Any other albums that you helped?
Oh yeah, yeah, all of them up until Seen It All. That was my last project.
Mm-hmm.
So Trap or Die was the first entry. He said that was the first when the world heard him say Carbon 15 where you at. TM 101,
Mm-hmm.
Inspiration. Then the mixtapes in between of all those, that's where like Trap or Die,
So you was bringing production, features,
video
videography.
directors,
Okay.
everything. Like, we discovered a lot of people through that 10 to 15-year run we had
Mhm.
together. You know what I mean?
So okay. Um, do you feel like you were properly compensated for the work that you put in?
Nah. Nah,
Okay.
that's why I had to spread my wings and get away from that situation.
Gotcha.
And then, business wise, you before you just fly, or you just say, yo, Doe, let me out. I don't want to ride no more. Before you do that, you
Mhm.
go through a process and you try to figure out what can I do or say to make someone realize that, hey man, I'm an asset. I'm about to go if we can't get the business right. So we had a conversation. I'm like, listen, this is where I'm trying to be at. It was back in 2014, and the conversation in that moment went like, yeah, 2015, 15 gonna be a millionaire. We're gonna make sure of that. Da, 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 da. We did Avion together. You A&R my last 3 projects. Da 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 da. 2015, millions. They coming. They
So
coming.
let me back up. The whole Avion, however you say it. That was something you brought to the
Yeah,
table.
Avion was something I brought to the table.
Okay.
Shout out DJ Folk. DJ Folk called me. He was like, "Yo, Carbon, I can't get Jeezy to answer the phone or something." He couldn't get Jeezy to do something. So I'm like, "Yeah, all right, what's it about? Talk to me." And he said the owner of Avion wants to speak with Jeezy. I'm like, "What? You mean the liquor brand?" Yeah, because let me back up a little bit. Yeah. So I discovered the producers. I brought them. I can't remember their name. Damn, I wish I could remember those producers, man.
Shout out to them, whoever you are, wherever you
It's
are.
gonna come to me. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find them out, and we'll in the second part we'll give them they props. But yeah, they made the beat. I took it to him. It was like 5 beats that he liked from them, and he jumped on them and he did the shit and put the song out. I can't remember what mixtape it was on. We put it out and it came back. And the owner of Avion was like, "Yo, I just want to tell him thanks and this, that, and the third, and maybe we could, do some business together." So okay, DJ folk, I'll get it done. It took me another 2 months to get him to finally get on the phone with the owner of fucking Avion
Saying I
Tequila.
want to do some business.
I'm telling you, this man want to do business with him. It took me another 2 months to finally get him on the phone with him. Then when they finally get on the phone with him, somehow it gets the ball is rolling, right? But they start bouncing the ball. scoring and shooting, and I don't know anything going on anymore. So I'm like, hey, what happened? What's going on? He was like, oh yeah, don't worry about it. You're gonna be straight. You're gonna get your 10% finder's fee, and we're gonna be good. Don't worry about it. I was like, all right. That sounded skeptical to me from the gate, but I'm like, all right, cool, man. We together, right? We together. We got the ink in our skin. We together, right? So I'm not thinking nothing crazy about it. Boom, go on. Deal gets done. Nothing happens. I end up calling Ken Austin, like, yo, the owner of AV. I'm like, yo, what's going on here? Like, well, Jeezy said he was going to take care of you, Carbon. I'm sorry. No, Jeezy ain't did nothing for me. Actually, they told me to just wait back and they gonna look out for me. So now the first deal was 6 figures. The second deal was way, way more than the regular amount of 6 figures. It was up closer. I always might be on, I don't even want to put a number on it, but all I know is I got cut out the deal because of greed and selfishness. And that was one of the keys that led to the conversation of me telling him, look, I can't be the homeboy anymore. This is business, man. Like, I'm bringing you real business and you're cutting me out. You're not let me get my part. You eat what you kill. I've been killing since fucking damn
Day one.
day one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, when do I eat? And that just was my final straw, man. That just was my final straw, man. 2014, man. And
Clothing line.
I moved on. After I was the brand ambassador for 8732, which is tattooed in my arm. The logo is tattooed in my skin right here. I was the brand ambassador for the clothing brand. So I would send it to athletes, entertainers, influencers. Back then, we didn't call them influencers. We just, whoever was popping, you send it to them. You know what I mean? And I would hold events and give out 8732. So from that point on, after that, I did the Migos clothing line, Young Rich Nation. I put that whole deal together, got on the phone with P and Coach, and we closed a good deal for them. And then Boosie comes out of jail. He wants to do his clothing line, Jewel House. I did all of those things. So after that, now I'm situated. I'm like, well, I should start my own brand. And that's when I was moving to, doing my own stuff. And I was like, what could I create that would be mine? And, I just got so sick and tired of people saying they're the real, I'm real this, I'm real that. So I wanted to define someone with morals who stands on business. And that's how I got the Rad Individual Collective. That's how we got to me pressing up t-shirts and clothes and, just, and now it's just turning into something. You know what I mean? It's turning into a whole lot. I've been meeting good people and people still want to see me get over the hump. So I'm just gonna stay down and keep working, man. That's why I'm pushing you out there. You got a lot of projects. You went from rapping to singing to recording yourself, and you even got a little comedy through in there. So this is for both of us, so we can just get our campaigns, more awareness. You know
Man,
what I mean?
why you think people sleep on our city so hard?
They sleep on making so hard because when you have someone like him who had the opportunity to open doors, they don't open doors. They just use people for what they use them for. You know what I mean? And our people, if we could just stop fighting amongst each other and come together. You guys tried with the family tree, and shouts out to the tree and everybody involved in that.
Shout out.
But that's what we need. We need more of that. We need more support. We need everybody like, okay, take Memphis for example. Everybody in Memphis don't get along, but everybody know Memphis got heat coming up out of Memphis. So, if we were to take that mentality, we'll be a little bit better. We not even moving like that. You know what I mean? Everybody don't have to get along, but just get
Not
on
even
your
that.
shit,
I'm
the
just talking
music
about
shit.
like for like the executives. People know like Memphis is like they boiling right now. But why you think that well have been tapped as far as our city?
Again, I just feel like
You think it's us?
when the eyes were on the city, when we had someone in power who could put eyes on the city, that's the first we didn't capitalize on that. And the artists, they're coming. It's so much. It's so much, so many people that want to be artists. And then we from Macon. We're an hour away from Atlanta. So Atlanta, no matter what, if you're not popping in Atlanta, I don't give a damn where you from. You know what I mean? They looking at it like, man, shit, he ain't know that was Lil Baby, or he ain't know that was 21. So it's kind of hard to, nowadays, you got to just build a fan base from the bottom up. And I just think people give up easily, man. Like, you know, we got some talented people down there.
Yeah.
You yourself included, like, but how many times I had to say, Slum, keep going. Cause you be like, man, damn this shit, man. People gotta just stay at it. You just gotta
Yeah.
stay at it, man. You can't give up, man.
Yeah, man.
You can't give up, man. So what you got next? What you got coming next?
I'm liking this R&B thing, man. So trying to get in some writing camps. I want to, be on the back end writing. If they still want to hear my R&B vibes, got more of that coming for you.
A couple of famous R&B females, they got major by doing covers. So the covers you've been doing lately, you stick to that. You know what I mean? Do a couple more covers and keep it in their face, man. Like Ellie Mae, or Mai, however you say her name.
Ella May, man.
Ellie Mae,
Don't mess up the queen name.
she came up from doing covers. People hate on Jacquees, but Jacquees get fucking damn views from fucking doing covers.
People go on there just to hate on him.
Just to hate on him. But he killing that shit for him and his people and his fan base. So you gotta keep building on your covers, man. If These Walls, let's talk about If These Walls, man. How did you even come up with the concept for If These Walls?
Everybody know Prince my favorite artist, man. I just wanted to, if I'm gonna do R&B and take it seriously, I gotta at least pay homage to the one of the ones who inspired me to get into it. So I told my man Katie, Hit Class, exactly what I wanted on the beat, how I wanted to feel, and we just cooked up on the spot. Well, no, well, yeah, I cooked it up at the crib, and I came back, and we just funked it out at the studio, man.
Funked it out. That's what you did. That shit funky.
Yeah,
that shit.
man.
It reminds me of some real old school Prince,
Real for the world type
Parliament.
shit.
It's deep. You know what I mean? Like, it's deep. I really like that song, man. I really like that song, and I like Right Now.
I feel like I got two monsters on my hand, and people just, if the right person just hear it and just share it. Ain't nobody got to put no money in my hand. Just repost it or something.
That's why we're doing this content. That's why we're creating this content so people can know. So when they see this, we're gonna throw the If These Walls video in there. We're gonna mix it right in, so they're gonna be like, oh, okay, that's what he's talking about. So we're gonna mix it in and make it, edit it the right way, make it look like something, man. But I've seen you come all the way up, man, from my block, man, 3700 Avenue, man. I've seen you come all the way up, and I've seen you do all of it, man. I just think we got to keep putting more eyes and more light on you, and more ears need to hear what you got going on, because rapping, you got substance. You can chew them up on every level, and singing, it's just all about you finding your lane, but you can do it all, man. That's why we're going to keep putting these lights on you and these cameras on us, man, so we can let people know what we got something to say.
Yeah.
Our city got something to say.
I jumped right that cold turkey on the singing, man. So I got a lot of work to do. I want to make sure I get vocally stronger and all of that. But I like it, man. It's like a I don't know, second win for me. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. I can say that. I can wholeheartedly say that about you, because it's like you get burnt out doing this rap, and then when you don't get, and when you know you're good, and you see other people advancing, or they're getting looks that you're not getting, and it makes you like, okay, then let me show y'all this part of me. So now it's like you're just going up. You're getting more better, and sooner or later, bro, you just gotta stay down, man. Don't give up, man. Stay down, man, because you're on the right path, man. I know it may not feel like it all the time, but you on the right path, Slum. You on the right path. You got your clothing line, Slum Child.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You got to keep going, man. You are a mini brand, but you on the way to making it where you're gonna be a household name. Just like Jet Life, like we were talking about outside. Like he took his opportunity. A lot of people don't know that. Well, a lot of people may know, but the young kids don't know that Spitter came from Lil Wayne. A lot of people don't know that. So a lot of people really don't know that you were up under the CTE branch. But
because I don't talk about it.
Exactly. But my point is, Spitter Currency took that opportunity and he turned it into where he is now. Same thing that you're doing, but you just gotta, something that I do feel like that I missed out on when I had the ball, and I didn't catch the streaming. I didn't catch the streaming world the way. That's our only, once we learn how to really make sure we're streaming on all levels, platform, YouTube, everything, that's the problem that I feel like that's what we got to get better at. You know what I mean? So anybody in my peers, hey man, I'm throwing
Reaching
out a
out.
lifesaver, man.
Reaching out.
Give us some game. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But we got to get into the streaming world. That's it.
Mm.
Once the streamers get to streaming your shit and your shit gets to moving and other people fall in their ears, it's gonna be major for you, man. Because you got real records. You talking to them. It's real life. Right now, it's real life. Everybody got that female that look. Come over here right now. Everybody got that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it just has to be put out there, man. So we're gonna keep doing it, man.
Of
Right
course, I
now,
got a joint project
we're
with
gonna slide right.
my homie Goody. Yeah, you
Oh
should.
yeah, Goody Supreme, it's on the way.
Yeah.
I fuck with that Goody Supreme project. Like, I didn't, it's crazy. Like I never knew Goody Supreme was who he actually is. I always seen him, but I didn't know that was him, the rapper. Like really, I truly did. So
Shout out to Boy Goody.
shout out to Goody Supreme. I like him, man. I like rappers with substance, man, who can help these kids realize they're rare individuals. You don't have to just
So
do
talk
what
about that.
everybody else
The
does.
right individual, you got the clothing entity, you got the music part of it. Talk about that.
The Rare Individual Collective, man. Like I said, it spawned from me going through ups and downs and dealing with fake real characters. So, I just want to make something that's mine, that's totally mine from top to bottom. Trademark, copyright, everything about it is mine. And then I want to just go back to the people that I know. If we start with the youth, if we teach the kids, embrace the youth, and highlight the adults, the people that are already, there making it, I feel like people coming after them will have something to grasp onto. Hey, I'm a rare individual. I can do what they did. We just got to put something on it. But yeah, man, and that's what it's all about, man. Just trying to highlight our people, man. I'm about to create a nonprofit behind this, and I'm gonna go to schools. I'm gonna get a couple of, these influencers, cool artists, and we're gonna go talk to these kids and let them know they can be anything. We're gonna go to these middle schools and tell these kids if they stay on the right path, they can get to where they want to be. You know what I mean? And then
It
the
was
people that's there, like I'm gonna
check
go
it
around
out.
and highlight some of these people.
I like it, man.
Yeah, man.
Get into the community, man.
Yeah, man.
But I'm talking about your executive role as far as the rare brand. I mean, is that a label? Are we talking like production?
It's more of a consulting. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of money to get an artist to the top. You know what I mean? So if I run into an artist and he has a team moving and they're willing to put stuff in, invest in themselves, I can consult them and help them. But for me to just say, hey, I'm gonna manage you, I got my heart in a couple artists like yourself. My man Lil Freaky, Spody. I got my heart into that stuff. You know what I mean? And it's like, I ain't gonna break nothing else until I can get these guys over the hump. I don't want to say, yeah, I'm gonna manage you. I consult. I help your team. You know what I mean? Like that's basically where I'm at with the collective. Like, and like I was just telling you, I've been thinking of like just changing my name on Instagram, rebranding everything, just to let people know I'm not just one sided. I'm not just the management. You know what I mean? So I'm just thinking about a whole rebrand right now. Just
I
for
think it's
me on
time,
my
man.
personal
I
stuff.
think I think we missing those. I mean, we got them, of course. Shout out to you know P and Coach, and I think it should be more executives. Like back in the day, you had the LaFace, you had the Rap a Lot, you had the just those executives like that we knew that was like curating the culture, man. I think it's kind of like no man's land right now.
Yeah. It's open in Atlanta. My man, Black Bill Gates, he just made a post and he was like, it's a vacuum within the city right now due to unfortunate situations, and it's a lot of shit that's kind of like it's open. It's in the air. Like Atlanta's kind of like open right now. Of course you got the little babies and whatnot in the
I mean,
future.
yeah, you
But who's gonna come up and fill that void? You know what I mean? We got Gunna and Thug caught up in their stuff right now. It's there. It's kind of like it's open for somebody to step in and be that new movement. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's why I'm here. You got into my
that's why I
head,
be pressing on you, man.
and that's why we behind the
Be
camera
pressing your
right now. Well,
line,
that's why
man.
we in front of the camera right
Yeah.
now, not behind it. We in front
Gotcha.
of the camera right
Okay.
now, so people can know and see what we're doing.
So what's next, man? What's next for the real one?
What's next is the Rare One collection. That is next. The Rare One collection. The socks, the hats,
Mhm.
clothing, everything. That's next. The rare one collection, because you got to be a rare one to stay focused on the plan and follow it through from from step one to complete. You know what I mean? You got to stay down, man. So that's my goal. I'm just gonna stay down with it, keep working, keep building, and take my brand up, get it together for the toddlers, for the kids. You know what I mean? Get everything built around my brand to make it a full apparel brand. You know what I mean? That's next, and start doing the rare individual collective pop-ups going all the way around, and listen and learn unlimited. That's
Okay.
that's 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 gonna be my. I'm gonna jump into the podcast space. I want people to listen. I want people to learn, and I want them to keep their mind open, to be unlimited, to take it in at any point of life. When you're rich, when you're poor, when you're in the middle, when you're stressed out, listen and learn. If you listen and learn, I guarantee if you listen to what you learned, you can go further. You can change your situation. So that's what my when I jump into when I open up this podcast space, that's what I'm on. Live and learn, man.
So who
Listen
are
and learn.
who are your uh y'all about being an executive? Who are, I guess, I don't want to say top five, but who are the executives that kind of shaped your vision and how you want to brand yourself?
I ain't gonna lie, when I first started, it was Coach K. Coach K, because it's somebody, when you get around some people and you just see how they move, you know what I mean? He's smart. Coach K is very smart, and he'll take an artist and put him with this artist, and then after they win and they get that artist fan base, he spin them to the next level. So Coach K definitely on that list. And a lot of people I never got a chance to meet. God rest in peace, Chris Lighty. He was a powerful dude. Like he was up in New York. It's a lot of New York guys, because New York was the key to this shit at first. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people in New York is who I paid attention to. You know what I mean? Chris Lighty, Steve Stout, Tata. Tata with Rock Nation, like I pay attention to him. You know what I mean? If
Mhm.
anybody look at me, you look at my page, I got a picture of Jay-Z, Tata, a few of them sitting on the jet. And it's just like a motivation to me, because I know where they came. Well, I don't know where they came from. They talk about where they came from, and I understand it and I embrace it. And where they are now. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Tata's a wild boy, but he's an executive.
Yeah.
He's an executive. And I always said I'm gonna be the Tata of the corporate thugs entertainment, but it just didn't ever get that way. You know what I mean? So Tata, Chris Lighty, and then a couple of my peers, man, they just handle business, man. Like Leighton, my boy Lake Show, he runs Generation now. He started managing DJ Drama a while back. And once he got with DJ Drama, it's just like their union, it just took off. They brought in Little Uzi, a little different type of producers, and they got one studio, then they got another studio. It's just like I just watched those boys, and I watched them come up from college. We stayed on the same street together in the west end of Atlanta, Oak Street. And I just watched them come up, man. That's one of my guys, man. Definitely my boy Lake Show, man. Steve Stout, Chris Lighty, rest in peace. And believe it or not, that boy did it, man. I don't know him, and I haven't had actual conversation with him, but I've been around him and I've able to watch him. You know what I mean? I watched him
Yeah.
recreate himself over and over and over again. So those type of people I always watch, and it's nothing you can't tell me about like I said, I used to read the back of them CDs.
Nice gumbo
Everything he
pot,
put
man.
out, he been fucking with his crew. A lot of people that's in the back of those CDs, they still with him to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like Jay-Z, everybody. I sat in the room with Jay-Z and Shaka Pilgrim, and we played them TM 103 before it came out. And Shaka Pilgrim, those people been with that man forever. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can tell the caliber of somebody who is gonna be around. Even when they're dead, they're gonna still be spoke about in the music space, in the business space when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to these people. And those are the type of people that I just pattern myself around. Like to see them on TV and to be in the room with them,
That got to be a hell of a feeling,
it's a
man.
hell of a feeling, man. And it kind of, sometimes I'll get frustrated because people don't know the shit that I've done, and people don't know what I could do, what I can do with the right opportunity. So that's why I'm even talking now and creating my
I'm
space and
glad,
just
man. I
get it
keep
out there,
telling you,
man.
man. You gotta get in
Yeah.
front of the camera, man.
Yeah,
Get
man,
in
I'm
front
good
of the
from
camera.
behind the scenes, man, and just get in front of it for a little while. But my goal is to disappear though, and still get back behind the scenes and just like my man Wallow say, I'm just gonna answer the phone and make calls from the phone, man. My time is when I can wake up and control my time and do it how I want to do it, and
I'm
I'm
on
just
that.
answering the phone and calling certain people.
I'm on that.
That's all. That's my next level for me. You know what I mean?
I'm on that.
I want to open up me a studio somewhere nice and warm because I still want to keep my hand on the pulse of the culture. I love this music shit, man. That's why we here in the studio right now doing this because this where Carbon 15 was birthed at
Yeah,
in the studio.
I was here for a few of those sessions around the inspiration time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We made the Shield Gang right here.
Mm-hmm.
We made USDA album right here. We made a lot of hits in this building, man. Yeah.